Earth Release Barrier, Earth Prison Dome. The Chakra Absorption Earth Dome is one of the combined defensive and offensive jutsu in Naruto, used by Jirōbō, one of the Sound Four from the early part of the story. In terms of how it works, the user creates an earth dome that surrounds the target, effectively turning it into a natural prison. The walls of this dome are infused with chakra, a clever design that allows the dome to self-repair. Whenever the prisoner tries to break the walls, the chakra within quickly restores the damage, making it extremely difficult to escape through brute force. This dome also has the ability to absorb chakra. As long as the user maintains contact with the dome, they can drain the chakra of those trapped inside. This creates a dangerous cycle. The more the prisoner tries to break the dome, the more chakra they use, and the weaker they become as their chakra is continuously drained. Jirōbō particularly favored this technique not only to imprison his opponents, but also to nourish himself with their chakra. From a tactical perspective, this jutsu is highly effective in battles that require patience and strategy. It not only allows the user to isolate their opponent, but also gradually weakens them while replenishing the user's own chakra, a significant advantage in prolonged fights. However, like all jutsu, this technique has its weaknesses. The distribution of chakra within the walls of the dome is uneven, a critical technical detail that experienced ninja can exploit. The side opposite the user's position has the thinnest chakra concentration, creating a blind spot in the defense. Shikamaru, with Neji's assistance, cleverly identified this weak point, and their team focused a powerful attack there, ultimately allowing them to break free. Overall, this isn't an overwhelmingly powerful technique, but it's sufficient to restrain a group of genin for a while. However, against opponents with substantial chakra and strength, this prison wouldn't be enough to defeat or even contain them. Jirōbō was fortunate at the time that there wasn't a Rock Lee among the young ninja he captured. Now, I really want to thank you for subscribing to my channel, which helps increase the subscriber to viewer ratio. However, the unsubscribed viewer ratio is still quite high, so I hope you will continue to subscribe to the channel to help our team develop further and also help you immediately receive the newest notifications about anime. Thank you so much. Next, water release. Great shark bullet technique. Just by the name of the technique, you know who's using it, right? That's right, it's Kisame. The Great Water Shark Technique is a special and advanced version of the regular water shark jutsu that Kisame used on Turtle Island. When performing this technique, Kisame creates a gigantic shark from water. The shark has the ability to absorb chakra from the opponent's jutsu. This is an incredible improvement, turning a regular attack technique into a highly adaptive combat tool. When facing an opponent's jutsu, the water shark doesn't just attack or collide, it can also absorb chakra from the attack. The absorbed chakra is directly converted into energy to enhance the shark's strength and size. That means the more powerful the opponent's jutsu, the bigger and more dangerous the shark becomes. Well, Kisame is famous for Samihara, his sword that can absorb the chakra of his opponents. It's a bit sad though, later on, his sword left him to go with Killer Bee. After that, he developed jutsu that could absorb the chakra of his target. But then he ran into Might Guy, a ninja who only uses taijutsu, meaning no chakra to absorb. So even though Kisame used this technique to counter Guy's attack, the shark didn't grow at all. Guy really is Kisame's natural counter. In the end, Kisame was defeated and chose to commit suicide to protect the confidentiality of the information. Body coating. Black Zetsu's body coating technique is truly unique and remarkable. As the physical embodiment of the final boss's will, Black Zetsu possesses this ability as a crucial part of his plan to resurrect Kaguya Otsutsuki. The essence of this technique lies in Black Zetsu's ability to manipulate his malleable body. With this feature, he can completely cover and infiltrate a target's body, wrapping them in a strange black coat. Once he successfully takes over, Black Zetsu can not only control the host's body, but also access all their abilities, including every jutsu, Kekkei Genkai, and unique powers, much like a parasite. What's particularly fascinating is his ability to drain chakra from the host and transfer it to others. For instance, we see him simultaneously coating both Sasuke and Naruto, absorbing their chakra and channeling it back to Kaguya. However, like all powerful techniques, possession has notable weaknesses. When faced with a strong will, Black Zetsu's influence can be resisted and even turned against him. Another interesting detail is that the immunity to infinite Tsukuyomi granted by Black Zetsu is also transferred to the host. We see this with Obito, who, despite being unconscious at the time, was unaffected by the infinite Tsukuyomi while coated by Black Zetsu. Chakra Draining Seal. The essence of the Chakra Draining Seal create a one-way path to drain chakra from the target. When the seal is placed on someone, it acts as an energy bridge, allowing the user to absorb chakra in a controlled manner. The chakra drawn is directly transferred to the jutsu user, creating a seamless energy transfer process. Kabuto used this technique to absorb the remnants of Orochimaru's chakra from Anko Mitarashi's cursed seal, enhancing the binding of the souls he summoned with Edo Tensei during the Fourth Great Ninja War. Kabuto even praised Orochimaru's chakra as exceptionally powerful, which allowed him to control an array of incredibly strong ninja. Overall, while this Fuinjutsu was used for malicious purposes, it can also be seen as a cleansing tool for chakra. In Anko's case, it freed her from Orochimaru's lingering influence. Path possesses a unique and incredibly dangerous ability, the power to absorb chakra in all its forms. While this is primarily considered a defensive technique, it is also one of the most effective tools for neutralizing most ninjas, who rely heavily on chakra and jutsu in battle. Through direct physical contact, the pre-Tei path can completely drain chakra from its opponent and even absorb and nullify any jutsu that is chakra-based. This power was clearly demonstrated during the invasion of the Leaf Village, when the pre-Tei path was surrounded by multiple ninjas. Instead of retaliating, it simply stood still, allowing the attackers to exhaust themselves as their strikes were absorbed by its chakra barrier. However, this ability does have its limitations and specific traits. The Preta path cannot absorb purely physical attacks, such as Gaara's sand-based assaults. In such cases, it can only drain the chakra infused into the sand rather than neutralizing the sand itself. This path can create a barrier that surrounds the entire body, allowing it to absorb attacks from all directions and forming an almost impenetrable defense. To understand its power, we can look at the moment it stepped in to shield the Deva path from Naruto's Rasen Shuriken and absorb the entire attack. However, this ability comes with its own risks. During the fight against Naruto, when it attempted to absorb Sage Chakra, a particularly potent and unique form of energy, the Pre-Ta path was turned into a toad-shaped stone statue. Gentle Step Twin Lion Fists. The Twin Lion Fists technique is one of the advanced jutsu of the Hyuga clan, showcasing a perfect blend of precise chakra control and the power of the Byakugan. Essentially, this technique requires the user to transform the chakra emitted from their hands into the shape of two giant guardian lions. Each lion head is not just a mass of chakra, it has the ability to absorb chakra from the opponent. This technique elevates the Gentle Fist to a whole new level. Normally, Hyuga clan ninja need direct contact to attack the opponent's chakra system, but with Twin Lion Fists, the attack range is significantly extended. The lion-shaped chakra not only increases the attack range, but also brings much greater destructive power compared to regular strikes. It's somewhat similar to Asuma's chakra blade. When Asuma attacked Kisame, even though the blades didn't directly touch him, they still left a cut on his face. That was because the chakra infused into the blades extended their range of impact. However, the Gentle Step Twin Lion Fists is a difficult technique that requires the user to have excellent chakra control. This is why the Byakugan plays an essential role in successfully performing this jutsu. The Byakugan allows the user to observe and precisely adjust the chakra flow, ensuring the lion heads maintain their shape and chakra absorbing capability. This technique can be combined with the 8 trigrams 64 palms. This combination creates a more powerful version of both techniques, allowing the user to maximize damage while using minimal effort. Parasitic Giant Insect Bug Bite. The Kirichu technique of the Aburame clan is one of the most terrifying and brutal jutsu in the Naruto world. Basically, the technique starts when a member of the Aburame clan places a certain number of Kidaichu insects on the opponent's skin. Kidaichu, a special type of insect nurtured by the Aburame clan, is a unique biological weapon, refined over generations to become a perfect combat tool. As soon as they come into contact with the victim's skin, these Kirichu immediately display their invasive instincts. They quickly burrow into the opponent's body. This process happens rapidly and is nearly impossible to stop once it begins. Once inside the body, the Kirichu start digesting the victim's flesh and absorbing their chakra. The victim's chakra and flesh become the energy source that nourishes these insects, causing them to grow at an astonishing rate. The more they consume, the faster they grow, and the larger they get, the more tissue and chakra they can devour. Shino used this technique to defeat the Ten Tails clones during the Fourth Great Ninja War. Honestly, they do look pretty gross. Secret Technique, Insect Sphere. This is another technique of the Aburame clan, used by Shino to attack Obito. The first stage of the technique begins when Shino releases his swarm of Kikaichu. The insects are unleashed, flying in a group and charging towards Obito. At first, Obito manages to evade them, but then Shino commands the swarm to spread out over a wide area. Each Kikaichu acts as a biological sensor, continuously searching for signs of the target by detecting chakra and other biological signals. As soon as one insect locates Obito's position, the entire swarm responds as a unified entity. They converge rapidly, forming a sphere around the target, ensuring that Obito is surrounded from all sides with no room for escape. The next phase involves attaching to the target and draining their chakra. The Kikaichu latch onto the target's body and begin the process of absorbing chakra. This chakra drain not only weakens the opponent, but also powers up the insects, allowing them to maintain their pursuit and attack capabilities. However, since the opponent was Obito with his Sharingan and the Kamui ability, he could easily escape the swarm using his space-time ninjutsu. A technique like this clearly couldn't defeat someone as powerful as Obito at that time. But to be fair, in battle, this technique has relentless tracking capabilities. Even if the target manages to escape the initial encirclement, the Kikaichu will immediately pursue. Each Kikaichu can detect and follow the target's chakra trail, creating a tracking network with no blind spots. From a tactical perspective, this is an incredibly versatile technique. It combines elements of reconnaissance, capture, and attack into one comprehensive package. Spore Technique. The spore parasite technique of white zetsu is one of the most sophisticated methods of tracking and control. It was used during the meeting of the Five Cage. The essence of the technique lies in the ability to create tiny spore clones. These spores are miniature versions of white zetsu. Their microscopic size makes it nearly impossible to detect them with the naked eye, allowing them to be secretly implanted on the victim's body. The spores do not have their own chakra, but function like energy parasites, feeding off the chakra of their host. Because of this, the spores become invisible to standard chakra sensing techniques, making it even difficult for an exceptional sensor ninja like Karen to detect them. The activation mechanism of this technique is also highly refined. White zetsu can set a timer for the spores, allowing them to remain dormant until the right moment. When activated, these tiny spores suddenly expand, creating a terrifying trapping effect. This process limits the victim's movement and accelerates the rate of chakra absorption. After absorbing the chakra of the Kage, Zetsu transferred it to Sasuke to help him recover. Well, at that time, without Zetsu, I'd say Sasuke would have been done for pretty quickly. From a tactical perspective, this is a perfect tool for reconnaissance and sabotage missions. The ability to track from a distance allows White Zetsu to gather information without needing to be present, while the delayed activation feature creates an element of surprise in combat situations. Uchiha Return. The Gunby Fan Wind technique is one of the most unique defensive techniques in the world of Naruto, especially tied to the legacy of the Uchiha clan. And the Gunby is a traditional weapon that resembles a giant fan owned by the Uchiha clan. It's a weapon specially designed to perform complex chakra conversion techniques. It allows the user not only to block attacks, but also to transform and reflect the opponent's energy back at them. Specifically, when an attack containing chakra approaches, the user of the Gunby will catch it with the fan's surface. At the moment of contact, the chakra from the attack is absorbed and immediately transformed into wind-style chakra. This process not only neutralizes the initial attack, but also creates a new energy source that can be used for a counterattack. The chakra conversion and reflection happen almost instantly, creating a sudden counterattack that's difficult for the opponent to react to. The opponent will face their own strength in a new form, a powerful gust of wind pushing back their attacks. Sounds a bit like Itachi's Yata mirror on his Susanoo, right? From a tactical perspective, this technique allows the user to seamlessly turn defense into offense, leaving no gaps in their response. The ability to instantly reflect chakra creates immense pressure on the opponent, forcing them to think carefully before using powerful jutsu. The Uchiha family's treasure truly is special. Wood release. Fudog heads. This is a wood release technique used by Yamato. As you know, the power of wood release can control the tailed beasts. And wood release, Fudog heads, was used by Yamato to prevent Naruto from being controlled by the Nine Tails during his training to channel wind chakra into his Rasengan. The technique starts with Yamato creating the character sit on his palm, symbolizing calming and control. Next, Yamato creates a series of wooden pillars, each engraved with faces resembling the Fudog spirit beasts. At the top of each pillar, there are lit wicks that give off a very spiritual appearance. When Naruto was training to the point of exhaustion and was on the verge of losing control, almost transforming into the four-tail state, Yamato slammed his hand down onto the ground, triggering a chain reaction. The wooden pillars immediately rushed toward Naruto, carrying a complex sealing network. These pillars didn't just absorb chakra, they also tamed the wild energy of the tailed beast. This was especially crucial because the chakra of the tailed beast is known for its unstable and powerful nature. Wood release, wood dragon technique. Also a wood release technique, but much stronger than Fudog heads, the wood dragon technique is one of the most powerful and impressive jutsu in the Naruto world, used by some of the strongest ninjas, including Hashirama, Obito, and Madara. This technique allows the user to create a gigantic dragon made of wood, with incredible power and size. It is so massive that it can rival the size of a full-body Susanoo and is long enough to restrain two tailed beasts at once. In terms of appearance, the wood dragon usually takes on the characteristic serpentine shape of an Eastern dragon, and of course, it possesses a particularly dangerous ability. It can absorb chakra. By wrapping around and biting the opponent, the dragon can slowly drain their chakra, weakening them over time, much like how a vampire drains the blood from its prey. But this technique is on a whole other level. Don't forget that Hashirama, with his wood release, was able to keep many tailed beasts as pets. This technique is extremely effective for capturing and dealing with large opponents who possess incredibly strong chakra. Alright, that's all for this episode. If you want me to make a video about anything else or a specific character, just leave a comment below.